Now, everyone is talking about how staged this fight was. I do believe it was scripted.
I actually watched it, and I felt, while watching it, I felt that Tyson was 58 years old. See,
Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, it's come out now. It was rigged. I can't believe it. You know, you have to question the validity of boxing these days when you can't trust two professionals to get in the ring and do their best.
As the days passed following the highly contentious bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, shocking new revelations continue to emerge. The latest comes from Oscar de la Hoya, who has openly questioned the legitimacy of the fight. This has fueled further speculation among fans and analysts, both those who watched the event live and those who viewed it on screen. Many are beginning to question the authenticity of the bout, pointing out that despite Mike Tyson appearing frail, his performance on fight night was unexpectedly restrained. This has led to growing suspicions of foul play being involved.
Hey Mike, them videos you was posting working out, man, what happened, man?
With this new information resurfacing, many viewers and professionals have meticulously reviewed all 8 rounds of the fight. They claim that throughout the bout, Jake Paul was allowed to engage in actions that would typically result in penalties. For instance, he was seen measuring his jabs for an extended period, yet the referee appeared to pay no serious attention to this. This lack of enforcement has caused frustration and anger to mount among the general public, leading many to believe that the fight was indeed scripted, orchestrated solely to boost Jake's profile. According to recent reports published by The Sun and other prominent news outlets, it wasn't just Jake Paul who appeared to be holding back. A close analysis of the fight footage reveals that Mike Tyson was also restraining himself, notably by holding back his hooks and biting his gloves in a display of sheer helplessness. When Tyson did manage to land punches, Jake Paul seemed to dodge them almost as if he were already aware of their timing. This further suggested a scripted event, with the fighters seemingly instructed to stretch the fight until the 6th round without inflicting significant damage on each other.
A clause in the contract that neither one of them
that he can't get touched,
that neither one of them can get knocked, that can knock each other out.
Well, they're saying that there was clauses that it had to go at least 6 rounds in order for Mike to get the full 20 million. There couldn't be
something like that.
So I factored that in. I said maybe health-wise, 58 years old, you know, that I've never, thank God, had to deal with an ulcer, so I don't know what that does physically. I'm sure it.
Expressing his disappointment with the entire affair, one analyst stated that based on Jake Paul's antics and disrespectful behavior throughout the fight, it was clear the event was anything but genuine. In his tweet, the analyst wrote that the match was clearly scripted, highlighting how Jake bowing down in front of Mike Tyson during the fight exposed the setup. He pointed out that Mike was obviously holding back, and the whole event felt like a staged performance. This sentiment was shared by many analysts and reporters. Eminent former champion and promoter Oscar de la Hoya also shared his opinion, emphasizing that after witnessing countless events of this nature, there was no doubt in his mind that the fight was fake. He argued that all the factors combined, the dubious nature of the negotiation process, Mike's apparent disinterest, and the controlled performance, left no substantial evidence to prove the bout's legitimacy. Oscar stated, "Everyone is talking about how staged this fight was. I do believe it was scripted, and I believe that Tyson was certainly held back. Look, I'm a fighter, and I can see it." Criticizing Jake Paul, Oscar pointed out that it was not only absurd, but also disrespectful how Jake and his team coerced the majority of stakeholders and sanctioning bodies into making this a professional fight, fully aware that they intended to sway the result in their favor. Oscar called Jake a disgrace to the sport, accusing him of targeting older fighters like Mike Tyson, because he knows he wouldn't be able to withstand even one round against real adversity. Oscar stated, "It goes on the record and it was sanctioned, so Jake Paul paid to get the win on his record. For what? For your own personal satisfaction? I keep telling you, if you want to be a real fighter, like you say you want to be, what are you doing? Like, who's next? Joe Biden? You have to fight real fighters." Oscar also accused Jake and other influencer fighters of ruining the integrity and sanctity of the sport. He claimed that their gimmicks and promotion of audacious events like these not only take the spotlight away from many deserving fighters, but also mislead the young and aspiring crowd. These young fans, he said, now yearn for nothing more than to make quick money, without any dreams of gaining prominence in the sport as the true fighters before them did not do. And
sport. People try to blame the promoters or the managers, the trainers. No, it's the fighters. I was one, and I can tell you that if my camp urged me to fight someone.
The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has sparked a storm of controversy, with shocking revelations continuing to surface daily. One of the most outspoken critics has been Oscar de la Hoya, a former champion and promoter who has close ties to the 58-year-old Tyson. Oscar appeared almost emotional while expressing his disdain for the bout, criticizing Jake Paul's disrespectful antics and claiming the fight was anything but genuine. Analysts and fans alike have meticulously reviewed all 8 rounds of the fight, pointing out numerous instances that suggest the bout was scripted. Many noted that Jake Paul was allowed to engage in actions typically penalized, such as measuring his jabs for extended periods without any intervention from the referee. This leniency led to growing frustration and anger among viewers, reinforcing the belief that the event was staged to boost Jake's profile. Reports from The Sun and other news outlets further fuel these suspicions. A close analysis of the fight footage reveals that both fighters seemed to be holding back. Mike Tyson, in particular, appeared restrained, holding back his hooks and biting his gloves in apparent frustration. When Tyson did land punches, Jake Paul dodged them almost as if he had prior knowledge of their timing, suggesting a scripted scenario where both fighters were instructed to stretch the fight until the 6th round without inflicting significant damage on each other. Oscar de la Hoya did not hold back in his criticism. He called the fight a disgrace and accused Jake Paul of targeting older fighters because he knew he couldn't handle real adversity. Oscar challenged Jake to fight a more suitable opponent, like Gilberto Ramirez, also known as Zerdo, who has an impressive record of 47 wins and only 1 loss. According to Oscar, if Jake truly believes he is an elite fighter, he should prove it against someone closer to his age and skill level. Despite the controversy, Oscar commended Mike Tyson for his tenacity and sportsmanship. He expressed surprise that Tyson, who has been professionally inactive for over 2 decades, could withstand the pressure and power of a much younger fighter without dropping once. Oscar reflected on his own failed comeback attempt at 48, emphasizing the difficulty Tyson faced and praising his resilience. Teddy Atlas, a renowned trainer and commentator, also shared his thoughts. He praised Tyson's legacy and lamented the spectacle of seeing him lose to a less experienced fighter like Jake Paul. Atlas pointed out that despite the widespread skepticism and calls to boycott the fight, curiosity got the best of everyone, leading them to watch the event. He criticized the fight as a staged performance designed to give Jake Paul a win. Michael Irvin, a retired football player and longtime friend of Tyson, echoed these sentiments. He described the fight as rigged and compared Tyson's performance to what he would expect from himself if making